Hi, everyone. This is Joseph Nemeth, and I'm going to lead you through this installation process and also how to set up these awesome GTS graphs and charts. When you purchase your GTS system, you will receive an email from GTS, and it will have one zipped file. And this zip file is dedicated for the NinjaTrader. Click your email open and click on the file. Download it. It will show up downloaded over here, and the download is in your download folder in your computer. That's really all you have to do. So once you've downloaded the Ninja zip file from your email, we can exit out of here. All right, now that you've downloaded the file, just double click open your NinjaTrader. So when you have your NinjaTrader open, go to the control panel, which is this kind of empty screen over here, and under the tools tab, come down here to come across to this little tab and go to Ninja Script add-on. Just click on that. That will probably automatically open your download file. There it is. And double click the file. It may take a few seconds here. You will get this message. This is important. NinjaTrader successfully imported all scripts contained in the Ninja script file. So you don't need to worry about unzipping the file. You just double click on it as it is right there. So this will import all of your GTS files into the NinjaTrader. Depending on which package you purchase, whether it's the essential package, you'll have 2 files in there, 2 scripts. If you order the professional one, you will have 4 scripts. 3 will be the charts and 1 data file, which is the GTS price bars. To set this all up, go to the new file, and in this second part of this tab, click on chart. This will open a brand new chart. You will need to select an instrument. This is the instrument that you trade. If you trade Forex, it will be one of the Forex instruments, euro, dollar, pound, yen, whatever. If you're like me, I trade the S&P 500 cash index, as well as the NQ NASDAQ futures, as well as also the S&P 500 futures. So let's just pick one just for the sake of this demonstration. Let's pick the S&P 500, right? And so now we loaded the S&P 500 data. And here on the right-hand side, under the data series type, you've got the basic ones. You can have the tick chart, seconds, minutes, days, and so on. You come down here a little bit, and you'll find the Genius price bars. Click on that, and the default tick trend is 100. You will probably need to change this. Now, let me explain what the tick trend is. Tick is the smallest increment by which an instrument changes. So if you have a stock like Tesla, then the tick will be 1 penny, right? Because the price can change by 1 penny. If you're trading Forex, for example, then a tick will be 1 pip, right? So this is the number of ticks that we take into consideration when we want to change or reverse the trend. Okay, this is what we're going to look at. For futures, you will need to be careful, because futures usually move by a quarter, 25 points. So 1 tick will be 25 points. So into $1, you'll have 4. In $1, you'll have 4 ticks. And this is the same for the P futures, as well as some of the other futures like NASDAQ futures and so on. So what I'm trading right now is the S&P 500. This is not a future. It's a regular cash index. And I'm just going to leave 100 ticks, which is basically just $1. Not really a whole lot, but we'll see what happens, right? So all the other stuff you don't really need to worry about. It comes with some preloaded colors for your price bars and so on. Usually you want to display it in either candlesticks, or at least I do, in candlesticks or hollow candlesticks. So here we are. We left the default 100. And I'm going to add a few more days in here. I'm going to add 1 month, let's just say 20 trading days. Click OK, and this will populate our chart. Here we go. So this is a chart with the Genius price bars. You can see how the trend is changing over here. Down here on the timeline, you can see that this trend changed, or this move changed approximately at 12:49, and then continued till about 16. So roughly about 26, 27 minutes or so. But this is really not how we trade. This only gives us a rough idea of what is going on in the market. In fact, if I look at how quickly the price bars are being painted, then I see there's just too many of them. So, and the reason for that is because I'm taking a small number for the tick measurements for the chart reversal or the trend reversal into consideration. 100 is not that many, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up here to this little icon. It's the data series. This is where the Genius price bars are located. And I'm going to increase this to say 300. I'm gonna triple this, right? So 300, and I'm gonna increase the bar width to 10. I don't want to waste any real estate here. So I'll go to 300. Now we're looking at $3 movement. It will take a few seconds to load. And so now we see that December 28, which is today, market just closed. So we see that we can actually stretch the whole day on one screen into one chart, and we see a much better illustration of what was actually going on in the market without all that noise. And here's a tip. The higher the number of ticks that you select for your Genius, the less noise you're going to have, the less noise you're going to see, and the more accurate the long-term trend is going to be. Of course, you're going to be somewhat late or somewhat delayed to the actual point where the trend changes, but in long-term trends, it doesn't really matter. So even if you were trading just directly on the bars and you sound mathematical money management, you would have made money here. That's just pretty obvious. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because it's not that we trade with these bars. We don't. The bars are only used as a data that feeds into our charts. And I'm going to show you these charts in just a little bit. But again, for you to understand what is going on with the bars is that the bars feed data into our charts, and also the settings determine how quickly the trend is going to change. So if you have a small setting, then the trend is going to change really, really quickly. And I'll show you that right here. Let's change this to, let's just say 30, just for the sake of illustration here. So now I have here 30 ticks for my tick trend selection. I'll leave everything the same, and let's see what happens. So we were able to fit, remember, the entire days of trading on one screen, and the bars were pretty big, right? So let's see what happens here. So I changed it. Okay. So, but look at the time. I mean, this is 1351. See how quickly it changes? So if I wanted to put the whole day, right? Whole day is right here. I don't see a whole lot. I see a lot of noise. I kind of see that the market ended up down. I see that, but it doesn't really tell me that much, right? So I'll go back to my original setting of 300, and let's compare it again. And see, the thing is, depending on what it is that you're trading, you're gonna have to play with this a little bit to find the setting that is right for you. If you're trading anything that moves with pips, you're gonna have to have a much bigger setting, right? If you're trading futures, that setting will be smaller, and I can show you that as well. So here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this back. I'm gonna change this back to 300. Okay, right, and you can see December 28th is here. I'm gonna stretch it out. This is basically the same instrument, same chart, one day, but completely different just because of the setting, right? So you're gonna play with this, and this is the data that will be fed into the chart, and that's when the fun really begins, right? So I'll show you one more just for the heck of it. I'll show you, say, NQ, NASDAQ future, right? So I'm gonna open another. I'm gonna go back to the main control panel, new chart, and I'm gonna pick NQ. That's the NASDAQ futures. The default always has a 100 preset, right? But over here, I'm gonna go, say, I'll cut that in half. I'm gonna go with 50 and see how. So this is NQ, NASDAQ March 2023 futures, and kind of similar, right? Kind of similar as the P. This is just futures. Futures and cash indexes, they move the same. The prices are just off a little bit. Futures obviously trade 23 hours a day. The cash index will trade during the normal New York business hours or New York market open. So yeah. So if I wanted something that is giving me more moves, I'll go back here and I'll decrease this. I'll go, let's just say, let's go to 15 ticks, and 15, let's just do 16 ticks, because 16 ticks is $4, right? Because one tick is 25 points, 25 cents. Okay, so let's see what happens. And you'll see now, if I stretch this for the whole day, if I want to show you the whole day, well, obviously this is a longer day because this trades longer, but you see that there's a lot more zigzags here, right? You see a whole lot more noise, especially these red bars in between the green bars. Don't get sucked in there. That's why we're going to use the charts that will be fed by this data. Here we go. So here we've got a bunch of days. So if I stretch this out, you know, I can see December 23rd. Then we had Christmas, obviously, but now you've got 3 days, and you kind of see what's going on in the market. I mean, yeah, it's still trying to go down a little bit towards the end of today. But the 3 previous days, it was kind of flat, but you could have made a lot of money in those moves. I mean, if you look at this move right here down, that's a nice move. This move right here is a nice move. So yeah, this is your master trend. The one that you set up is your master trend, and at least be looking at 3 days. You know, if you are really fast trader, then 2 days. So you've got some longevity in that master trend, right? Now, obviously, you will not be trading every one of these moves, because that's where the graph comes in, and it will tell you exactly when to go into a trade and when to come out. All right. So this is the bars. So we can exit out of here, and let's go back to my S&P 500, which is my absolutely favorite thing to trade. I live off of this. You know, I made a good little profit today on one of my smaller accounts. I don't trade all accounts all the time, because you can only juggle so many balls in the air at the same time, and I don't recommend initially trading more than one account.